Hey guys, welcome back to the Dynamic Body Project. I'm Dr. Swearinger, and today we're going to tackle neck or the cervical spine again. So we're going to address specifically dynamic mobility of the spine today. We want to start moving these segments around, flexion, extension, lateral bending, rotation, and hitting all these sticky corners while we're pumping out this inflammation and helping restore normal range of motion to these tissues and these structures, the joints themselves. So let's jump right into it. The very first exercise we're going to do is cervical active range of motion, flexion, extension. The keys to this exercise, whenever I look down or whenever I look up, I want to engage the muscles at in range to teach them to activate. And if you start cramping in this position, don't be alarmed. You're just teaching new neurology to these tissues. So most important, our spine stays in neutral. We sit nice and tall. We're going to pull our chin down as low as we can and squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to drive our head back. Once we extend, we're going to let the chin run up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to perform 10 repetitions of flexion and 10 repetitions of extension. And we're going to hold each repetition for 5 seconds. The next exercise we're going to do is cervical active range of motion with rotation. We visited this in our very first neck video. Again, nice and proud, we're going to look as far as we can to the left. We don't want any shoulder rotation in this. Keep this in neutral. And we squeeze like we're trying to pull our chin and nose that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Under control, we rotate to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Always activating those tissues at in range. We're going to perform this 10 times each side for 5 seconds each hold. The next exercise we're going to perform is cervical active range of motion, lateral bending. We stay nice and proud, and we're going to lead with the ears to the shoulders. So I want to laterally bend as far as I can to the left. 1, 2, squeeze in here. 3, 4, 5. Transition over and reach, reach, reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to perform 10 repetitions to each side, 5 seconds each repetition. Now, we're going to get into some new moves with cervical active range of motion. The first one is going to be called a half moon. So this is cervical active range of motion, half moons. So what we want to do, nice and proud, we're going to pull our chin to our chest, and then we're going to start rotating around to halfway, and we're back to flexion. So my chin is down. I rotate my chin to the shoulder. I take my left ear and laterally bend it over my left shoulder and back. Once I reach that in range, I rotate to halfway, back into neutral. Rotate the chin to the left. Laterally bend the ear, rotate around. We will do 10 repetitions going to the left, and then we will do 10 repetitions going to the right. Chin comes down. We rotate. Laterally bend, rotate around. Back to flexion. We're going to rotate. Laterally bend the ear over the shoulder and rotate around. Now we started in flexion with this mechanic. There's 2 ways to perform this. That is part 1. Part 2, we start in extension. We laterally bend the ear over the shoulder, rotate the chin down to the front of the left shoulder, and then chin goes to the sternum. Extend, laterally bend, rotate the chin, rotate the chin. 10 repetitions starting in extension, lateral bend to rotation, and we will do that on both sides. Extend, laterally bend, rotate, back to neutral. 10 repetitions of flexion, 10 repetitions of extension to each side. So the next exercise we're going to do is cervical active range of motion, full moons. We just did the half moons where we're working half of the spine. Now we want to incorporate 360 degrees of mobility. So we start the same way. We're going to start in flexion. We flex the chin down to the sternum. We rotate the chin to the left shoulder. We take the left ear over the left shoulder, we laterally bend it, and then we rotate all the way over to lateral bending over the right shoulder. My right ear is over my right shoulder. My right shin then rotates down to my right shoulder, and then I scrape it across the collarbone back to the start position, which is the sternum. Rotate, laterally bend, rotate, laterally bend, rotate, all the way back to neutral. We'll perform 10 repetitions starting going to the left. We'll perform 10 repetitions going to the right. Now, these exercises are fantastic for restoring mobility to the joint segments themselves, teaching these muscles to release their guarded positions. You can help centralize disc ailments that we're suffering from, nerve root impingements, but speaking specifically of this nervous tissue, we do not work through pinching. If you go into rotation to the right with the chin, and then we start laterally bending and we have a pinch, we stop. We don't have to force that lateral bending. Work around that pinch, because as we perform 2, 3, 4, 10 repetitions, we start teaching these tissues to relax. We're able to gain a little more range of motion. If you force yourself through a pinch, you will most certainly irritate the nerve root or the disc or the joint that is hot or inflamed, irritated, and you will create a bigger problem. We do not want to make it worse, we want to make it better. So never force through a pinching sensation you get. Guys, these are fantastic exercises to work. We can really create a lot of change. If you ever have any questions, be sure to reach out to us. Leave comments at the bottom of the page. Phone calls, text messages, we respond to all of them. We always appreciate the feedback. It's been super positive thus far. Please keep it coming. Until next time, have a good day.